Hey everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our Kenyan Mchana natural process coffee as a filter offering. This is something new for us, something I've not seen a whole lot of. This is a natural processed Kenyan coffee, and coffee is a lot of fun. It's really adventurous, but really sweet. It's not adventurous in the sense that you're gonna taste a lot of things that you haven't experienced in coffee before, but adventurous in the sense that it's unlike another Kenyan that I've had. It really is this combination of natural processing and Kenyan coffee. So Kenyan coffee, usually we get just really bright citrus notes, sometimes almost too bright as far as the acidity goes. And so this natural processing gives us a really nice body, which Kenyan already usually has a nice texture to it. We just get a richer texture to this coffee, and then more red fruit flavors. So coffee's literally a fruit. This coffee tastes exactly like that. We're gonna be brewing this in the Stag X dripper, a recipe of 20 grams of coffee to 300 grams of water. So let's wet that paper filter. Dunk that. All right, so 20 grams of our coffee. This is ground medium fine. This is about a 13 on your Baratza Encore. This is probably about 21 on the Comandante C40. Yes, I kind of changed that adjustment a little bit. I've been seeing a little bit of change in drain time, so that's not the exact ratio that I use for those two grinders. And I would think around 40, 43 of the Niche Zero. I didn't actually have that available to me this week, so I didn't test it out. But that's just my guess. Let's dunk that coffee in there. Shake our brewer flat, and as with the Stag, I didn't do the bead hack today. Talked about that a couple weeks ago. Just lift that filter up a little bit. We don't want it suctioned to the bottom of any of these holes. And welcome back, borosilicate stir stick. All right, got my timer zeroed, my scale tared, and my water hot, 205 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna be doing this sucker in 4 pours. First off, let's bloom 50 grams of our hot water. I'm gonna pour it a little bit heavier than I usually do for the blooms. This is a tall brew bed, and I wanna make sure that my water gets all the way to the bottom, and that's one reason why I'm gonna use this stir stick. You can use a spoon, you can use a chopstick. I'd recommend something slim that's not gonna do a lot of agitation, but that's going to penetrate this and get rid of any clumps that you've got. Now, I have found this coffee more enjoyable with longer bloom time, so I'm gonna bloom for 45 seconds total, rather than a more traditional 30 seconds. I just feel like maybe it's a combination of this tall brew column, but this coffee just needs a little extra time to degas. Otherwise, we struggle with our extraction. I'm gonna drop heavy in the middle, spiral around, and I'm gonna go to 150. There we go. I'm gonna let this drip out. Here at about 1 minute and 15 seconds, I'm gonna do another pour up to 250 grams total. So our water should not drip all the way through the beans at this point, but I should have plenty of room for this next 100 gram pour. So here we go, 115, drop heavy in the middle. Try to touch all my coffee. Work my way back to the middle. There we go. So if you're messing with grind size, like I said, it shouldn't drip all the way through, but I shouldn't be running out of room at the top of this filter. I shouldn't have any risk of overflowing this filter and getting grounds into my brew. All right, let's finish this off at 1 minute and 50 seconds. 50 gram spiral. Again, touch out the coffee. I want this to be flat when I'm done with it. There we go, 300 grams. So 1 to 15 ratio. If you find this coffee a little bit too tart still, then I would stretch that out a little bit and maybe use 18, 19 grams of coffee, but still pouring this 300 gram recipe. you'll dilute that acidity a little bit, get a little bit more extraction, kind of balance that out a little bit. This coffee is so new to us that I don't actually have any flavor notes on it. So I'm gonna pour myself a little bit in this glass once this is dripped through, and we're gonna see what it is. I do know what it tastes like though, when it is under extracted and over extracted, but I didn't write my notes down after I dialed in. When it is drains too fast, it's actually still really sweet, but it is a little salty, which is especially common for under extracted Kenyan coffees. You should drip through also in just under 3 minutes. This was 2:55 that I'm taking this off. It tasted more like a Kenyan coffee when it was under extracted, when it dripped through too fast, when I had too coarse of a grind size. It wasn't grassy at all, but it was a little sour and a little salty. Then if it drains too long, it was still really good, but it became drying like a bitter cocoa in the aftertaste. And then when it cooled, after it was too fine, it was not good. That acidity just fell apart, and it became really astringent, really medicinal. It wasn't great. So let's get some notes here. I know I had like peach rings. Yep, I'm gonna stick with peach rings. I'm gonna say pink grapefruit. Raspberry. This is very floral, like almost lavender, but it doesn't taste like laundry detergent or anything. And honey. There we go. So, raspberry, peach rings, pink grapefruit, and honey. Cheers and enjoy.